Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to what I believe is the 19th episode of the Automated Millionaire video/podcast episodes. We are currently in our new series where we're looking at the mistakes that business owners make in their business. A lot of these mistakes are mistakes that I've done myself, and I hope that I might catch you soon enough in such a way that you'll listen to my mistakes and won't repeat them. Some of the mistakes you probably already are doing, or maybe at least you've seen them with other people. I am using these mistakes as a good guidance to, when we do this, it's going to cost us money, and when we don't do it, it's going to help us save money or maybe even make more money in our business. We have now reached the third mistake we're going to talk about. In the two previous episodes, we had the first two mistakes. If you did not listen to them or see this video on those, I definitely invite you to go back and see those. If you want to see more of the previous series, that was on the topic of the secrets that make a top business turnaround agent so successful. What is a top business turnaround agent? Well, it's a business consultant that can go into a business that's really ailing, really hurting, things are going really badly, and they may be even close to having to close up shop. And yet this business consultant can come in and help businesses turn around very, very fast. And there is a number of secrets that really make it so that they can do that, even when they don't know necessarily the business or even the industry. And I invite you to definitely to go back and listen into those episodes. And if you wanted the training on that one, I have a free training, at least currently on my website. If you go to the automatedmillionaire.com, you'll see a tab for no-cost training or free training. And currently, at least, that training is on this system that I used that made me tremendously successful, helping over 100 businesses in person, on site, in the trenches. And like I said, these were companies all over the United States, all over Canada, and of all kinds of industries. So the industry, the secret does not entail that I need to know the industry. I don't need to be a specific expert in each and every trade. It's a matter of knowing and understanding business really, really well. And so if you can pick up this system, then you can be the expert tradesman that you probably already are in your business, but now really understand how the business dynamics work so you can make much more money with your business. Anyway, that's my invitation to you. So again, the automatedmillionaire.com is where you can go and avail yourself to more of that training. Now, in this training here, we'll continue the three mistakes, and that actually what I just spoke about leads me a little bit to mistake number 3. And mistake number 3 is that very often as business owners, we spoke a little bit about the ego yesterday, and sometimes that's part of the reason why we go and do mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is that we like to go it alone. For some reason, as if business is not tough enough at times, as if life is not sometimes tough enough for us and challenging enough for us, we often like to go it alone. I'll do it myself, we'll say. If I tell my employees to do this, they'll mess it up, so I'll just do it myself and so on. So we have this attitude of doing it. And oftentimes I have to admit that we would never become that entrepreneur if we did not have that strength in us that we can go ahead and do things on our own. However, when we run our business and so on, what would you rather want to do? Try to figure everything out on your own? Or would you like to much more have to listen to somebody who has gone the way before them, had made all the mistakes, learned all the lessons, and now can fast track you forward to results at a much higher level? So you'll get to that result that you really want for yourself and your business and your life and livelihood and income and so on, but you'll get there much faster. And very often we, as business owners, we say, no, thank you. And to be honest, if I look back at my own success career and entrepreneurial career and so on, had you mentioned a business consultant to me in my earlier days, I would have said no, thank you. But I think we need to stop up and think about, okay, well, what is it we really say no to? Well, I think we are saying no to that I don't want somebody to come in and give me a academic version of what I should be doing. I don't really want a polished, okay, if we need to do all standard operational procedures, which may be a good idea though, but I don't want to pay a consultant a ton of money to come and spend a ton of my time and my team's time to implement these kind of things. But what I would like is to pay somebody a certain amount of money that can then help me implement something that's gonna more or less ensure that I make much more, let's say 4 times, 5 times, 6 times more money back in a short period of time compared to what I spent, and get there much faster and with less mistakes made. And if at the same time that can not only gain me the time, but may be able to implement the system for me so that now I can go as a business owner and maybe pursue other interests, have more time on my hand, still have a system whereby I can run the business even from afar, or maybe even on an absentee owner basis. Or even if I want to be in the business and work in it daily, but then it becomes much more easily to reach those it becomes easier to reach those results and those milestones that I'm looking for. Well, see, if I had thought that process back in the day and somebody had knocked on my door and say, okay, I can show you how to triple your revenues or how to triple your net profits, and we can implement the system and it'll take you, let's say, 4 weeks or 6 weeks. And here's the price, but you'll make 5 times as much back within the first year. Would you say yes to that, or would you say no? I would venture to say that if I went back in my time running the business, if I had gotten that proposition, I would be very much inclined to say, yes, I like the fast track, I like the better system, I like the more revenue, I don't like the investment, but then again, as a business owner, we are used to making investment, and that's a good thing. That is indeed why we get some results that most other people don't get, because we are willing to risk something in order to gain something better, and at least gain a progression towards a dream we may have. Maybe that dream is to fulfill, a business adventure or growth of a business, or taking something somewhere, or maybe even to create solutions for, the world, so to speak. That's very often what's driving us as entrepreneurs. So we have that in us. And so I would say that, well, had I looked at myself back in the day, when I thought business consultant, I was thinking about, okay, it's those, polished, procedures of the business or so. I did not really think so much about, no, this is a fast track of system implemented that ensures that everybody's on the same page, everybody knows exactly what they need to do, everybody will make 10-20% more productivity. I'll make, as a business owner, 10-20-30% more, or maybe even much more. And I'll make my investment back within the first year, and I'll possibly double my money, triple, quadruple, or even more. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, like I said, the mistake that I'm talking about in this particular episode is the mistake of we all too often we go it alone. I think we need to be better at saying, okay, well, if I can elevate my results faster and get there faster and hire the right expert, I should be willing to do so. I think we are pretty good at sometimes when saying, well, okay, I know if I can get this new machine, a CNC machine, let's say, that can do 5 angles instead of 4 angles, I can do all these other jobs that I couldn't otherwise. Or I can do them faster because maybe I would do most of the elements on the 4-axle, and then I would have to do the last one manually or something. But now with the 5-axle machine, I can do all of it with that machine. Or maybe it's like this one can run faster than the old one, more efficiently and so on. Well, now we can kind of calculate out the efficiency gain of that, the return on our investment. And so again, I would say we don't want to go it alone if we can indeed seek out other systems people who have gone before us, masters and mentors, or business consultants and so on. Again, yes, I invite you to check out some of the programs that I'm offering. We have a unique system that we know works because it's been implemented. The basis and framework of it has been implemented with over 300,000 businesses over the course of the last 25 years or so. And we know it's been very successful because we check the progression of the profit and loss statement from these companies, and also by the word they give back. So it has had a success rate of 97-98%. Now, the way I deliver upon this today is I use online platforms such as, you log into a membership site, and then now you have access to the training courses and tools and the downloads and so on that you can access at pretty much any time. You can go back and repeat the lesson several times without having to pay me hour by hour, which used to be the method that I would deliver upon this information. So in the day when I went out in the trenches, you would usually hire me and you would probably have me on there for like 6 weeks, maybe even 3 months. But every week would cost you probably somewhere in the region of 25,000-30,000. If I had an extra help it might be 45,000 in a week. So you can imagine timing that out with those several weeks. You're talking about sizable investment. Now today, because of the online platform and so on, that investment is much reduced. Yes, it's a sizable investment, but nothing compared to what it used to be. Now, what it used to be in the old method was that you probably would stand to make about 4 to 7 times back your investment. So now that your initial investment to actually acquire it is much less, imagine what that investment turns into. Now you may say, well, okay, but you're not in the trenches, you're not there with me, next to me, and so on. And you're quite right, but I am in a sense I am, because what I offer instead is I'm making use of all these platforms we have today, which makes it much more accessible. So I offer group coaching calls. And you will find that the group coaching calls are actually more valuable than just one-on-one sessions. And the reason being that very often we will learn a lot of, okay, I can use that in my business, from listening in on the other colleagues or the other clients that I might have, and their problems and their challenges that we are dealing with for their businesses. And because what I've seen is that most of the challenges we face, we kind of all meet them in one shape or another in our business. So we learn from all of them. And that's why I find that the group sessions are actually more valuable than one-on-one. When I was in the trenches and on site, I could only help one company at a time. Using the online platforms, I helped many companies at the same time, and the collective value for everybody is much increased by that format. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this lesson here on not going alone, that you will take up on it. Not necessarily with me, I would love to invite you here as a client, but if not with me, find that expert in whatever area that you need specifically right now to fast track you to a better result right now, more efficiency, more income, and so on. Because like I keep saying, you can do more when you have a full cup. You can pour from a full cup. An empty cup is difficult to pour anything out of. So with that being said, I hope this served you well. I love to hear your comments. I hope that you might hit the like button, and I hope for sure that you'll like to subscribe to the channel so you can listen into more of these mistakes that we make, that we can make better money from when we learn to either avoid it or what to do about it, so we don't jump right into exacerbating the mistake. This was Mikael Pitzner, also known as the Automated Millionaire, and I thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in